So the Sky God 4s are here. And if you throw P2s at all, or if you just like deep beadless putters for throwing, then you gotta check one of these out because these things are some of the best on the market. I've also got some of the D-line P2s here to see what the differences are between their base plastic and their premium plastic in terms of flight and feel. And I've also got a Z-line Luna in the bag. And at the end of this video, I'm gonna go see which one flies further for me, because why not? Let's do this. Now, first thing, like, again, Discmania is just nailing it with this plastic. Like, I don't know if it's just like the putter molds usually, or if it's the plastic or how it reacts or what, but a lot of times when you get premium plastic putters, they feel like on the more gummy side. It's harder to get them to be like stiff and hold their form when you grip it. But this, like, they nailed it. Like, it is really hot and humid right now. It's disgusting out here in Kansas, but this plastic is still like holding its own. It's not like, it's obviously a little bit gummy, but like not very much at all. Like, I still feel like a solid grip on this, and it holds its form in my hand really nice. Now, the other side effects to premium plastic putters, a lot of times they feel like a little bit bigger in the hand and deeper than the normal baseline plastics, and that's kind of true here. Now, when you look at them, like, look at the profiles of both of them, they look pretty close to each other in terms of the depth of them. But if you notice, the baseline plastic is usually flatter across the top for a little bit longer before it curves down. And this one curves up a little bit more before it flattens out at the top. So it does have slightly more dome, and that causes it to feel a little bit deeper in the hand. So if the P2s are already a little too deep for you for throwing or putting, then this isn't gonna be much better. But if that never bothered you, or if you like the deeper putters, like, this is, like, again, this is one of the best on the market. It feels great. This plastic, they nailed it. And also this stamps are a subjective thing. A lot of people like tear them apart and be like, that's the worst stamp. Why did they decide that? It's subjective. Like, it's a matter of opinion. It's not a fact that this one's better than this one. Like, but this stamp is pretty sick in my opinion. Now, before getting into the flight of this disc, if you didn't know, we have a store at apollodiscgolf.com where you can pick up the Sky God 4 or any other Discmania originals, or an ever-growing catalog of discs there. And we get your discs shipped out in 1 to 2 business days, and every disc is individually bagged so they don't get scuffed up, and they're all shipped in a box. So you don't ever have to worry about your postman folding up your discs and shoving them in your mailbox and ruining the disc before you even get your hands on them. And purchasing discs from our store is the best way to support this channel, so we can keep making our content bigger and better and just doing more with these videos. So if you like that, you can go shop at apollodiscgolf.com. All right, now getting into the flight of this thing is just what you would expect out of a premium plastic putter. It's just a more overstable version of the P2. Now, is it significantly more overstable? Not significantly, I wouldn't say. So it's not like a brand new mold. It's still a P2. It's just this D-line will fly a little bit further before it hooks up than this C-line will. And this C-line might hook up a touch more. And it's just a touch. Don't go in expecting that you have like a new like harp type disc. This is not that. It might be overstable enough to forehand. The only problem with the forehand though is because it's so deep, it might be hard to get a clean release on it. Some of you might be able to do that. I just can't forehand deep putters very well, or putters in general. So if you want a forehand upshot disc that's overstable, I would look more towards the Tactic in Discmania's lineup than the C-Line P2. But in terms of like an overstable approach disc, like a putter style approach disc, this is great. And it's crazy because this thing just flies really far for a putter, and an overstable putter at that. Like, it just glides forever. Like, there were a few holes where I would normally throw like a mid-range to get there. I was getting there with the P2. Now, this D-Line P2 is really fresh. Like, this is the first times I've thrown this one. And so this one was, again, it was close to stability. The C-Line was still a little bit more overstable. But the benefit to a premium plastic putter is that this won't beat up quite as fast. So you can cycle, you can have a D-Line P2, and once it starts beating up straight, then it's awesome. You now have a straight putter. And now you can have your C-Line one, and that will stay overstable. When a D-Line, like after maybe like a month of use, this would for sure not be a wind fighter overstable disc. Now, just like every disc, you've got to be throwing it clean for it to be as overstable and fight those winds. Just like any putter, if you roll your wrist or your off-axis torque this into a headwind, I'm sure this will flip over. Now, does this fly further than my Luna? Let's see that. All right, let's see how the Sky God compares to the Luna in terms of distance. I'm assuming that the Luna will go further because it is more understable. Like, I threw them both on an Annie. This one flexed out, this one held straight, which was really nice. This one held straight for longer on the Annie, but this is about distance. Let's see how it goes. Also, that we've had a few bad storms past couple weeks, including a tornado, which might have been what took that thing down. That thing is huge, look. Welcome to the Midwest. And luckily it wasn't even like a bad tornado, it was like an EF1, so it was like one of the weakest ones you can have, but still, that's that big of trees falling down is crazy. So, Sky God 4 right here. And we've got, all right, then we got my D-line P2, which is probably, it's probably like 8-9 feet further. Then we've got D-line. Then we've got my Luna right here. So that, the Luna, where is it? Right there. That's probably 15 feet further than the D-line, so it's probably about 22, 23 feet further than the C-line. This is why I like the Luna, because it's a little bit more workable because it's less overstable, but you can probably get that out of something like the Sensei from Discmania. I've heard that one's really good. I would bet that one's close to the Luna in terms of a straight flight, and you can probably get just as far as that with this one. But it still surprises me how much distance you can get with the P2 with how overstable it is. Like the Luna, it's very touchy. So if you have really good form, it's gonna hold that dead straight line and fly forever. But I've found on the days where like my form's a little off, I'm not throwing the best, it's really hard to throw that Luna on a good line far. Like, it's very easy to turn over if I'm not having a good day, which I don't think that would happen with the P2. But yeah, the D-line flew a little bit further, doesn't surprise me. But as you can see, I love throwing my Z-line Luna. If you wanna know what other throwing putters that I like, some of them are really underrated or forgotten, you can watch that video over here. And you can pick up these P2s at apollodiscgolf.com. I'll see you in the next one.